Hello student, very good morning to all of you. How are you? I hope you all are happy, healthy and fine at home. Do you remember what were we discussing yesterday? Yesterday we had discussed just the third way of synthesizing longifulin in the laboratory. So there are the 9 total ways or total methods we are going to discuss. So far we have discussed in fully the 2 methods. Now the third method in continuation we are discussing. So in that first the starting material while synthesizing as a third way, the starting material or the precursor taken here also as a Wieland-Michler ketones, and the reagents are added like as a first A reagent. A reagent means there are A is a name of those reagents which are added for the conversion of that Wieland-Michler ketone into some other product. So A reagent like as H2 in presence of palladium charcoal. Then second one will be the what we can call it as a LDA in LDA and TMS tetramethyl silane chloride, and third reagent added there is a NBS. When the Wieland-Michler ketone A reagents are first one H2 in presence of palladium, then second one is a LDA tetramethyl silyl chloride or trimethyl silyl chloride, and third one is a NBS, N-bromosuccinamide, and by adding these we are generally getting as a introduction of bromine atom at ortho with respect to the 2-carbonyl group, because if you observe the starting material or the precursor of Wieland-Michler ketone, one is there are 2 cyclic compound joined together in a decalin type, and one carbonyl which is isolated carbonyl, and second carbonyl which is a alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl. When the reagent first one added H2 in presence of palladium charcoal, it has specific use. It only reduce it to carbon-carbon double bond, whether it is in isolated form or in a conjugated form. It is specifically the alpha beta unsaturated compound. Suppose you want to convert the speciality of that compound. Suppose you have this type of the compound C double bond O here. If you use here suppose as a NaBH4 sodium borohydride, then what do you get? You are going to get the product. Here is a OH and double bond remains as it is. If you use here H2 in palladium in presence of charcoal, what is going to get? You are going to get as a this one C double bond, only carbon-carbon double bond get reduced. So that is a speciality of this compound. So alpha beta unsaturated compound, and if you use here as strong reducing reagent like as a lithium aluminum hydride, it also reduce this type of the compound. So that is a specialty. Or if you have a nitrobenzene with you, NO2 group, and then if you use as here same reagent H2, palladium in presence of charcoal, this is a nitrobenzene as you know that, and that nitrobenzene is going to convert specially into as a NH2. You are going to get aniline, and if you use here the reagent SN in presence of HCl, that is a Sandmeyer reduction, so still you are going to get as a this type of the product. So these are the various reagent and their utility we have discussed over here. Suppose as the cyanide groups are there, suppose you have a starting material with you, this one, cyanobenzene, let us see C triple bond N, then the reagent H2, palladium charcoal, then what do you get? You are going to get the compound like this, here CH2 and the benzylene amine you are going to get. Or suppose you have a imine type of the compounds are there. Let me draw here double bond, then N, here may be as a R. So suppose if you use as a H2 in presence of palladium charcoal, what do you get? You are going to get here NH, then R. Imine, this is a imine type of the compound that get converted into as a amines, secondary amines. So these are the some additional information regarding this reagent which we are using here. Now after that, what the things we have discussed in our previous lectures, that is a starting material, generally we have taken this one C double bond O, then here it is a methyl group C double bond O, and here we added H2, palladium charcoal, second one LDA, then TMS trimethyl silyl chloride, and third one will be the NBS. By using, and their mechanism also we have learned, if you add all these reagents and you will get the product over here Br C double bond O, here also as a Br is introduced at ortho with respect to carbonyl group, and this is a final product we got, and these reagent 1, 2, 3 it is labeled as A as usual, and this synthesis is done by the scientist. The name of that scientist S. Karimi and P. Towers, and they have used these reagents. Now upon this we are going to use as a B reagent, and the B reagent will be the DBU. DBU, the full form of DBU is nothing but as a 1,8-diazobicycloundecane 7-ENE, that is the full form of DBU. And after using DBU, the conversion, the product obtained will be like this. Let us see the product, how the product is obtained over here. This which we are going to get over here, this, and then going to get over here, then here will be carbonyl group, and here is a carbonyl group 2CH2, here is a methyl group at this junction that goes below the plane, and here at this bridge side there will be a bromine. After adding as a DBU, this reagent, and we will get as a product is this one. That is a tricyclic product are formed, and the DBU, the full form of DBU is 1,8,1,8 diazo bicyclo, diazo bicyclo undecane 7-ene, that is a full form of this 1,8 diazo bicyclo undecane 7-ene, that is a name of this reagent, and this reagent convert this product into as a that one. This will become as a starting material, and this will end up with the product like this. There will be a 2 carbonyl group, and at the bridge side there will be 1 bromine, and the structure of that DBU is also, see the structure over here. This is a structure of that one is a 6, here is a double bond, so there is a numbering system start from here. You can write numbering system start from here 1, 2, then there will be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. 9, 10 and 11, that is the numbering system. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 membered ring, this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 membered ring, and this is a 6 membered ring. 7 membered ring is formed over there. And at 1, 9, 8 position there will be a nitrogen atom, and that's why it is a 1,8 diazo bicyclo undec 7-ene, 7-ene. Double bond, or diazo bicyclo, or it is named as, or diazo bicyclo bicyclo 540, this is a 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4 one side, and in this side 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are there. Junction is a 0, so 540 7-ene, that is the name of this compound. And now when this compound is further treated with, let me clean this, when this compound, after adding DBU we got this compound, and when this compound further treated with the C reagent, A, B, and now is the C reagent. And C reagents are first one TMSCl, trimethyl silyl chloride, sodium iodide, NaI, sodium iodide, trimethyl triethylamine, trimethyl silyl chloride, sodium iodide in presence of triethylamine. Second reagent will be used over here, that is a CH2I2, that is a CH2 dimethyl iodide, CH2I2, and ET thrice Zn, that is a diethyl zinc, and third one is a FeCl3, FeCl3, that is a ferric chloride. These are the reagents used. After using these reagents, the compound obtained will be everything. This one remains same. Only at this position, by adding this thing, we are going to introduce the chlorine group at that specific position. Here something 1 and 2, right? And after getting, I think there will be a ring expansion, everything is happening, and we are going to get the product is this one. Here this generally here is a not this one, the compound. Let me draw properly that compound. Is the compound where C double bond O. Here is a chlorine atom, and here carbonyl group, here Br, and this methyl group, it remains as it is. Here just make as a one correction over here, like this. This is a compound which we got over here, 7-member ring, and after that by adding this we are getting as a chlorine ferric chloride, introduce chlorine atom at this. Here trimethyl silyl chloride can form as a enolate, get protected, then CH2I2, then there is some rearrangement occur, and that ferric chloride suitably introduced at this particular position. And after that, when all this thing when added here, D reagent, the D reagents are, here is a given, the D reagents are sodium acetate, then H2 in presence of palladium charcoal, then triphenyl, that is a Wittig reagent. These things are adding D over here. Remember, first reagent is added sodium acetate. Here NaOAC. AC means acetyl group. And second reagent will be added H2 hydrogenation, palladium in presence of charcoal, and the third reagent will be added here is Wittig reagent, that is a PH3C, PH3 P double bond CH2. See over here once again. After adding all these things, what you are going to get over here, sodium acetate is a base. It will remove the proton from here, and then double bond will be formed over there. After formation of the double bond, then this is used to remove alpha beta unsaturated compound, and then Wittig reagent is used to get this carbonyl group is suitably get converted into as a CH2. That are the possible things are happening over here, and you are going to get the product. Here is this one. Let's see what do you get over here. Here you are going to get the product. Let me draw properly so that you can see clearly over here. This one, here is a double bond and CH2. Here is a Br double bond O, and this methyl group remains as it. Got it? So this is a structure which we got over here. By adding the reagent suitably over here, first what we added, sodium acetate, which is a strong base. The elimination reaction takes place and the double bond formed, because this is a more, this proton HOAC minus can abstract proton from here. There is a elimination takes place, form as a double bond, and then H2 in presence of palladium, this double bond alpha beta unsaturated compound get converted into as a carbonyl, and then you are adding this Wittig reagent which will convert this into as a CH2, and we got, this is the product which we got over here. The mechanism of Wittig reagent and all other things we already discussed in our previous lectures. Now after this is a reagent D. Now we are going to use A, B, C, D, E reagents. The E reagents are, one is a CH2I2. First one is a CH2I2, that is a dimethyl diiodide, Et thrice Zn. Then second reagent, E reagent, will be H2 in presence of platinum, and third reagent used as a Bu3SNH, that is a tributyl tin hydride. This is a, generally this reagent is used in a photochemical reaction. These are the E reagent. After adding all these reagents suitably, you are going to get the product. The product will be like this. Here 2-methyl, not this one. So let me clear this, and now here carbonyl group as it is, and here are the 2-methyl group is introduced. See over here, and here methyl group still remains as it is, CS. Now CH2I2 it thrice. Here what is going to happen? Here is a 3-membered ring is formed, cyclopropane ring is formed while adding this reagent Simon that type of the reaction, and then H2 in presence of palladium, that cyclopropane ring is opened, cleaved due to the strain, and we will get dimethyl group there, and that is a trimethyl tin iodide. Whatever the radical generated over there, it can be abstracted that hydrogen, and we will get as a that type of the compound. And this is the compound which we got over here, and finally this compound when treated with F reagent, the F reagent will be this one, first one, that is a CS3Li, CS3Li, that is a methyl lithium, and second one is a SOCl2, thionyl chloride. Second one SOCl2, which is a thionyl chloride, and finally we will get as a our target molecule, which is a longifulin, and we are going to get as a longifulin. This is the target molecule which we got over here. So here Bu3SNH is a tributyl tin hydride. It is act as reducing reagent, CH hydrogenation, dehalogenation, intramolecular reaction. So after breaking EIBN, that is azo-iso butyl nitride, initiator is used over here, and we are getting this type of the hydride, and when it is treated with, we will get as a this one NC, that is a alkane. So the starting material was converted to a dibromocation via the bisacylyl enol ether in the first sequence of reaction that we already learned, and this intermediate underwent an intramolecular enolate alkylation to form the C7-C10 bond, which we already discussed. The ring expansion was then done by conversion of the ketone to a silyl enol ether, cyclopropanation, and treatment of the siloxycyclopropane with ferric chloride ApCl3. We got this type of the compound, which intermediate that I am going to show over here. Some of the key intermediate that need the explanation how we achieve that one, that we are going to discuss here one by one. Let's see here is this is a structure which we have seen over here. There is a what we can call it as a here OSI, here OSI, trimethylsilyl chloride. Then here ring expand, here is only not this one ring. Ring expansion carried out over here. Here is a methyl group CS3 and here is a Br. Ring expansion is carried out in presence of FeCl3 and we are going to get the product is like this. Br. Here is a 2-methyl group, here is a chlorine atom, not methyl, here must be a carbonyl group, and we got as a ring expansion in this case. And the final stages of the synthesis involve introduction of the final methyl group by Simon-Smith cyclopropanation. Simon-Smith cyclopropanation. Simon-Smith cyclopropanation. Simon-Smith cyclopropanation. And reductive opening of the cyclopropane ring. Simon-Smith reaction, cyclopropanation of olefin using CH2I2 and zinc copper. So we will discuss that some of the intermediates are present over there, but let us stop today here. The remaining we will see in the next lecture. Thank you. Have a nice day.